Today, we're doing the Survival Challenge Bronze, and we're way up here on location at the Cairngorm Mountains in Aviemore. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Tor Eckhoff, the ice whisperer of Norway. It was just another winter afternoon in Norway. Snow-covered lakes, icy winds, and a stillness only broken by the occasional crunch of footsteps on frozen ground. Tor Eckhoff, known online as Opore, was in his element. At 57, this Norwegian YouTuber wasn't chasing fame. He was chasing peace, solitude, and adventure. A factory worker by trade, Tor lived for those serene moments captured on camera, gliding over frozen lakes, setting up cozy campfires, and soaking in the silence that only nature could offer. On November 26, 2021, Tor set out with his gear and camera, heading to Jacob's Dam near Kongsberg. It was a location he'd visited before. No one watching his videos would think anything of it, just another calming adventure in the cold, something fans had come to love and expect. That day, he messaged his wife after arriving, sending her photos of the lake and noting good conditions. It was supposed to be another peaceful skate on thin ice. But something changed. Not long after he stepped out, a witness nearby heard the faint but unmistakable sound of someone yelling for help. The ice had betrayed him. Tor had fallen through. What followed was a desperate attempt to survive. The water was mercilessly cold, and even though Tor had escaped similar situations in the past, thanks to the ice spikes he always carried, this time something went wrong. Maybe the spikes slipped from his grip. Maybe the ice was too thin for even his experienced hands to find footing. Rescue divers rushed in, and a helicopter was dispatched. Tor was airlifted to Oslo University Hospital. Despite everything, the speed, the care, the prayers, he passed away the next day on November 27th with his wife and son, Johannes, by his side. It was heartbreaking. This was a man who had said in an earlier interview, "I've always had a thing for cold water." He wasn't a thrill-seeker looking to tempt fate. He simply loved nature, loved it so much, in fact, that he kept returning to it, even after near misses. Tor's death shook his fan base. Swedish YouTuber Nyman paid tribute, remembering Tor for his quirky, peaceful videos that always brought a smile. Opore's passing wasn't just the end of a channel. It was the silence of a soul who felt most alive surrounded by ice, snow, and the gentle hum of nature. And he left this world doing exactly what he loved. Storm Debul, silence in the blizzard. Sometimes the loudest voices on YouTube don't speak a word. Storm Debul, a 22-year-old Belgian adventurer, built an entire channel called Storm Outdoorsy around silence, just the sounds of wind, water, and wilderness. His videos felt like invitations to unplug, to experience raw nature without commentary. It was just him, the wild, and the camera. He had been camping solo since 19. There's something to be said for a person who chooses solitude at such a young age. Storm wasn't showing off survival tricks or chasing clout. His videos were meditative, calming, often beautiful in their simplicity. In August 2024, he began uploading his journeys online, and in just a few months, he'd become a quiet force in the outdoor content space. Then came his last trip, the one that would turn from adventure to tragedy. It was October 29th, 2024, and Storm was deep in Lapland, Sweden, near a small town called Jock. That part of Sweden is known for surreal snowscapes and glowing northern lights. He had parked near Saito Elvsbrunn Bridge, continuing on foot into the forest. This was to be the final leg of a trek that had started back in June. More than 6,000 kilometers hiked, completely alone. By nightfall, he set up camp and packed snow around his tent to block the biting wind. But nothing could have prepared him for what hit next, a blizzard unlike anything he'd ever faced. Wind speeds reached 120 kilometers per hour. Temperatures plunged below -6 degrees Celsius, with wind chill making it feel closer to -18 degrees Celsius. Snow buried his tent hour by hour. Finn Creaney, the bushcraft mystery of Scotland. In the rolling wilderness of Scotland, survivalist and YouTuber Finn Creaney carved out a digital space where ancient skills met modern storytelling. His channel, Wildcat Bushcraft, wasn't about flashy gear or exaggerated thumbnails. It was about teaching, fire making, foraging, shelter building, the kind of skills that remind viewers just how little most people know about surviving in the wild. On March 25, 2022, Finn set out alone to film a new video. His route was ambitious. Starting near Loch Nee, he planned to hike about 45 kilometers to Goulsby Beach. He promised his wife and daughter he'd be back by Sunday to help deliver flowers for her small business. But Sunday came and went. No calls, no messages, nothing. At first, his wife Luca wasn't panicked. Finn had gone off-grid before, but by day 3, her concern deepened. Calls to his phone went straight to voicemail. That's when Finn's father got involved. A missing persons report was filed. Police began scouring the area. Days turned into weeks. Still no sign of him. Finn had vanished. Completely. The search dragged on for months. No footprints, no campsites, no gear, nothing. But 18 months later, a sliver of hope appeared. 2 deer stalkers found a backpack, half buried near the lake. It was Finn's. No one knows what was inside. His father kept that private, but it was enough to suggest a theory. Finn may have tried to swim across the loch to save time, only to be pulled under by cold water and currents. It was a heartbreaking theory, especially for someone so experienced. But here's the thing about the wild. It doesn't care how good you are. Even the best can make a fatal miscalculation. Finn's disappearance left behind not just a grieving family, but a community of fans who still share his old videos, looking for wisdom, comfort, or maybe just a voice that once felt invincible in the forest. To this day, his body has never been found. The man who taught survival vanished without a trace, a mystery forever entwined with the very nature he so deeply respected. More YouTubers continued in the next messages. Full script will continue to include Albert Dyrlund, Graham Dinkelman, and James Stobe the Hobo Stobe, remaining 9,000 words coming up. Continued. Albert Dyrlund, Tragedy on the Dolomites. In Denmark, Albert Dyrlund was a name many grew up with, not just because he was a YouTuber, but because he represented something rare, unfiltered creativity. Known for his chaotic energy, spontaneous stunts, and wild sketches, Albert had racked up over 160,000 subscribers and close to 100 million views. His content was strange, often hilarious, and sometimes brilliantly absurd. He started as a performer, comedian, and musician. He even made a movie, Team Albert, a coming-of-age comedy about a high school student chasing YouTube stardom, mirroring his own early journey. But by 2020, fans noticed a shift. His videos grew more unpredictable. His behavior blurred the line between performance and reality. Some saw a genius playing with art. Others weren't sure what to think. Then, in 2021, Albert moved to Los Angeles and started documenting his time abroad under a new channel, Albert Soap. It seemed like a new beginning, an artist finally stretching his creative wings. By summer, he was back in Denmark and uploading again, talking about the beauty of life, being present, appreciating small things. Then came July 28, 2021. Albert was hiking Mount Secca in Italy's Dolomites near Val Gardena with American YouTuber Tucker Doss. They were filming for their channels, capturing stunning views from high above. They followed the main tourist trail until they reached a sign, no access, climbers only. Behind the sign lay a grassy slope and a drop, nearly 200 meters straight down. They crossed the barrier anyway. Locals later said it wasn't uncommon. Tourists wanted cleaner shots, more privacy. The grass was slick from rain, the air silent. Albert sat near the edge, camera in hand, filming a short clip. Tucker, about 60 meters away, was taking pictures when he heard his name shouted in panic. Graham Dingo Dinkelman, the snake charmer who believed in respect over fear. In the heart of South Africa, surrounded by scaly giants and creatures most people would run from, Graham Dingo Dinkelman built a legacy. A wildlife presenter, conservationist, and fearless educator, Dingo was a name whispered with awe and respect in the animal world. He wasn't just the snake guy. He was a storyteller, an advocate, and a teacher who used his YouTube channel to introduce millions to the reality of Africa's wildlife. Venomous snakes, crocodiles, wild mammals. His calm demeanor and unshakable confidence made handling a black mamba look like a casual Sunday activity. But behind the scenes, Dingo was known for caution, preparation, and purpose. He ran Dingo's Farm and Reptile Park in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands, a place that doubled as a sanctuary for dangerous animals and a classroom for curious minds. Children came to learn, adults came to unlearn fear. Dingo's message was simple. Understanding leads to protection. If people could learn to respect snakes, maybe they'd stop killing them. If they saw beauty instead of threat, maybe conservation had a chance. Over time, he became known as South Africa's Steve Irwin, and it wasn't just because of his charisma. Like Irwin, Dingo turned danger into education, and he believed every close call was an opportunity to teach, but the wild doesn't make exceptions. In September 2024, while working with an eastern green mamba, Dingo was bitten. At first, it seemed manageable. He'd been envenomated before. He knew the protocols, but this time was different. He suffered a rapid anaphylactic reaction. Within minutes, he was unconscious. Paramedics arrived. Antivenom was administered. He was placed in a medically induced coma. For almost a month, his family, wife Christy and kids Taylor, 14, Maddie, 12, and Rex, 9, held on to hope. But in late October 2024, at just 44 years old, Dingo passed away. The shock rippled across the world. Tributes poured in from conservationists, rangers, zookeepers, and everyday people who'd learned to see nature differently because of him. His family continued his mission through the Dinkelmans, a family YouTube channel, and the park remained open, still educating, still protecting. Dingo used to say that he wanted to reach people who had absolutely no experience with nature or wildlife, those scared of snakes and afraid to get dirty, and turn them into passionate defenders of the wild. In every way that mattered, he succeeded. James Stobe the Hobo Stobe, the poet of the rails. Trains, grit, piano music, solitude. That was the world of James Stobe, better known as Stobe the Hobo. While others filmed luxury travel and hotel reviews, Stobe was hopping freight trains across America and filming every moment of it. But this wasn't reckless chaos. It was documentary, art, philosophy in motion. He scored each video with his own piano compositions, turning rusted rails and graffiti-covered boxcars into cinematic journeys. He was more than a traveler. He was a storyteller. Stobe wasn't running from life. He was chasing meaning. Born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, he saw the rails not as danger, but as freedom. He made America feel big again, showing viewers the forgotten towns, the hidden paths, and the raw backbone of a country that most people only see from highways and airports. His narration was calm, dryly humorous, often poetic. He'd talk about how to hop a train without being seen, which rail cars were safest, and how to stay alive when no one knows you're there. He didn't sugarcoat the risks. He talked about mistimed jumps, drunken missteps, catching the wrong ladder. "You miss once," he once said, "and that's it." On November 8, 2017, that warning became reality. Stobe was train hopping near Baltimore, crossing a rail bridge when something went wrong. Reports vary. Some say he was trapped by an oncoming train. Others say his backpack got caught on a passing Amtrak, pulling him violently. Whatever the cause, the result was fatal. He was 33 years old. His death spread slowly, but hit deeply. Fans didn't see him as a daredevil. They saw a poet of motion, a rare soul who found beauty where others saw only rust and risk. His videos remain online, haunting, beautiful, alive, filled with the sound of wind, piano, and perspective. Stobe didn't just ride trains, he documented freedom, and in doing so, he showed a side of America few ever see. If their stories moved you, honor their legacy by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. Click the cards on screen for more real-life stories captured on camera, and, as always, stay safe out there, because the next video you watch might be someone's last moment too.